Hi everyone, so this is stage 2 and we're going to be looking at a double twisted easel, so that lies down there, and a triple twisted easel, so it has three parts to it. Okay, so we're going to start off with the double twisted easel. Both of them are from a DL card. Now, to make these panels square, I have reduced the DL card down to 20 centimetres by 10. Right, we will have the alternative measurements on the video as usual, but I'm going to take off 1 centimetre off here just to make it so that the panels are square. Right, so we're now going to take the scoreboard and we're going to score down at 10 centimetres to the crease, which is halfway. Down to the crease is halfway, and we're going to cut those apart. So we have 2 little legs. Now, if I open the 2 little legs, I need to make this twist element on the card. You can see it on the back and it's folding the piece in half. Now you can do it on your scoreboard. So we're going onto the scoreboard, and I have these black lines which I've put with a pen down my scoreboard to allow me to do easy diagonals. So I want to go from the centre point of the card to this top point over here. So I'm going in there, straight up to that point. Then I want to swivel it round, and I want to go from the centre point of the card to the top outer point. So if I fold that away, I can see my black line easily. So, and then coming down that one. So if I fold these in, just burnish the folds down. Okay, that is my mechanism for my twisted easel. So there it goes flat, and we now need to prepare these panels that go on the top and also the inside of the card. Right. To keep it simple, I'm not doing the mat and layer, but you can, as you get used to doing them, you can add all sorts of extra bits. So I'm going to take my wet glue on this occasion and put my wet glue on the inside there. And I'm going to see if it will go that way to be economical. Yes. So I'm putting that on, and I'm keeping away from this score line. Turn it over, and I'm going to take my craft knife and just using the card, cutting off the excess. So there we have the inside of the card done. We're going to fold these back. Now what I found in my stash was a couple of these very decorated, I've used the wrong card, never mind. I was going to use a cream card, but let's perhaps save those. I've got a couple of white ones here. Right, always be prepared to change your mind and do something that's going to look better. Okay, so I'm going to put this underneath there. I want to make this a bit bigger, because if you look at it, it's going to be a bit smaller than that. So let's take this. I'm going to place it onto there, and we're going to stick these down. And I'm putting the points here up against the edge. So I'm going to take this one and do the same on this part. So the points are going to the edge, and then I know that when I put it on my trimmer, if I place that bit there and put my tiny little point there, I can come down there. I'm just going to check, yes, the point is in the right place here. Place it on so the point is just coming to the edge. Turn it round. There we go. Now I've made my topper bigger. So let's have a look how it fits. And actually I can add one extra layer. Okay, so let's have a look. If we go to the toppers that I'm going to put on, my husband goes round the garden every morning pulling off dandelion heads. So this one's for him. Right, so I've got an extra one here which I'm going to use as my stopper. Could do with 2 stoppers, but we'll see what we come up with. And I've got 2 pieces here. Now the thing when you're doing this, the images have got to come towards the centre. So if you have a look at this, the bird's feet are coming towards the centre, the wording is coming towards the centre, because when they twist, they'll be up the right way. So it seems a little bit alien to do that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go for a dark green. Right, I've chosen a dark green, and I'm going to put this here, and I only want a very small amount going around there, and I'm coming down to this corner, and I'm having a very small amount down here. Now I'm going to move that out of the way. I'm going to take my ruler and my craft knife, because then I can see exactly the border that I'm putting on the edge. There's one. Turn it round, and there we go. Right, so let's have a look at this. Because these are all the same, it doesn't really matter which way round at the moment they go on, because I haven't got a picture. So I'm going to take a double-sided tape. I'm only putting tape on these 2 triangles. stepping away from the edge because my topper is not going to go exactly to the edge and I don't want any glue exposed. So I'm going to take my first one. I'm going to even it up so that I've got the same amount all the way round. If you've got them square, the point here and the point here should be along your crease line. It's a good way of knowing if you've got the panels on right. Okay. So I'm looking at the space all the way round, but I'm also looking at these points here. There we go. There is my twist, and let's see, this is my biggest one, so if I put it on an angle there, it's not going to look right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lose a little bit of the stem. I'm not cutting it straight across, I'm leaving it a little bit jagged so it looks more natural. So there is my first one. This one is going opposite, and this isn't quite so long, but I'm still going to just give it a little trim. Right, so the stems are coming together on there, and when I turn this round, if I lift it, you can see that the two dandelions are upright. Okay. Now we've got to work out what we do about this because I've only got one stop. So what I could do is to lift that up there and make one stop do the two things here. So I'm going to bring some very thick sticky fixers, and I'm putting some of those on the back, and I need to get this just right so that it's going to support those two. There we go. So one stopper is now supporting both of those. I'll try and lift it so you can see. Right, the stopper doesn't have to be down here. Right, that one, I think we're going to, no, it won't come up. So I was going to just turn it round, but that's okay. So I've also got a tiny little happy birthday, and what I'm going to do with that is match it in. So I'm going to put it's very fiddly. I'm going to put that on a little bit of green. And I have some very tiny scissors, fancy scissors. So I'm coming around there and I'm just putting the merest border around my greeting, just to make it really pop off the page. There we go. Won't see much of it until it goes onto there, and I think that one can go on sticky fixers as well. not to act as a stop, it's just to make it stand up on the card. So there's Happy Birthday, and I'm going to centre that on there. So let's bring back the original. So there we have the birds, and I've used acrylic domes as stoppers, and I've put them over some of the backing paper so it shows through the eggs. So there's number 1 and there's number 2, and we're going to then come back and we're going to look at how to make the triple easel. Okay, so I've got the 2 samples of triple easel because they're different. Okay, this one I have 3 easel parts, so this stands up. This one I have left the flap flat, so it's another added interest, and only these 2 stand up. So there's a lot of scope for doing your own creation. So I'm going to put these out the way, and we're back to the DL card, but this time I'm not going to cut off the extra bit because it's 21 centimetres and I want to keep it into 3 panels of 7 centimetres. So I'm going to come in with my scoreboard again, and I'm going to score down 7 to the crease and 14. So I've got 3 equal panels. Scoreboard can go away for the minute because the centre panel I want to leave as it is, but this panel here I want to reduce to 7 centimetres, so this is a 7 centimetre square. So my easiest way of doing it is to just mark with my ruler 7 centimetres there, 7 centimetres there, and if I put my ruler across there, I'm going from this centre line out and down to the centre line there, and I'm coming down the centre of the score line to separate these parts. Okay. Right, that is all the bits I need to do on this one cutting, but I need to divide up these so that the mechanism will twist. So we go back to the idea that we go from the centre of the card to the top corners, centre to the top corners. So I come back, I'm going to use one of my lines, take that out the way, and then I can see that I can go from the centre of the card to the outside. Come this way, line it up here and twist it. So there I have my 2 twist mechanisms. So I'm going to just burnish those down. If you don't burnish them down, they can jump up and be a little bit difficult. So there are my 2 twist mechanisms. Now I have to decide whether this is going to be flat or whether it's going to stand up. I think I'm going to score it in half so that will be 5 centimetres because it's 10 centimetres altogether. Right, so I'm going to come down on the 5. So we're actually doing this one with the bit that stands up in the middle as well. Once you understand the mechanisms, then it's absolutely fine. You can do exactly what you wish. Okay, so there are the mechanisms. I'm going to line this piece inside first. So that will just go across, and exactly the same as we did before. Don't need too much glue. That particular one is very strong. So I'm keeping away from the fold line. Turn it over and using the card as my template and coming down through. And I've got a little bit that's overhanging here. There we go. So there is my lining, and we're going to look at these. This is 7 centimetres square. So the decoration that I've got is 6 centimetre squares here, and one that's slightly smaller for the centre. Okay, so I'm going to take these and we're going to place them onto the dark green. And I'm putting about a ½ centimetre, 1/8 of an inch if you like, all the way round. And you can do it with scoreboard, you can do it with your trimmer. I'm just going to match the other 2 sides. So I've gone now and I've done my 6 centimetre square with a little border around it, and I'm going to fix that to the side here. Use the narrower tape. So my 2 here, remember it needs to face inwards like the other one. And then this one needs to face inwards on that one. There are our 2 wings that swivel out. This one here, I only need to fix at this bottom edge, so I can come up. I know it's 5 centimetres, so about 1.5 inches, 4 centimetres up is fine. What you don't want is any glue coming to this top piece here. So put those flat. Piece is on there. Right, so that is our main 3 easel bits. So I'm just going to go and get 3 stoppers and then we're finished. So I found myself some little acrylic domes that have a pinky colour to them. and if I do wet glue, chances of them slipping are quite high. So I'm going to put a little bit of double-sided tape on there, and I'm going to do this first one in the middle. Number 2. You need to decide how far you want your wings to come in. It doesn't want to come off. Does not want to stick, but it's good for you to see that how things can go wrong, but you have to persevere. I'm working in incredible heat at the moment, so the double-sided tape is not behaving at the moment. Right, the double-sided tape is messing about because it's so hot here, so I'm just going to put a bit of wet glue, but then I'm just going to hold it for a second just while the glue goes off. Okay, so a little bit of pressure there, and we should be able to take our fingers away. That was only a couple of seconds. So there is our next bit, and I've got a happy birthday here, and we'll have another go with the wet glue and a tiny little bit of the green. And I think this one's going on flat. So we've got happy birthday, and I'm going to bring in this one. So these are the two that we've done in the tutorial. So we've got the dandelions double twist, and this is a triple twist. So each one just folds down and goes flat into a DL envelope. Right, happy crafting.